And we're live, I think, like always. Hey, everybody. And welcome back to the Sugoi Boyz podcast. Well, because it says like initializing, and then it says like starting, and then it says broadcasting. There's a series.
It says.
Yeah. Welcome back to the Sugoi Boyz podcast. I'm Miasma from Gyre Media, and with me, as always, are J Chip from the J Chip Show, and
you might as well just be Gyre Media from Gyre Media at this point. You're the only Gyre Media.
I mean, there's talks of it soon becoming just Miasma. But it's still in the air.
It's still to be determined.
Yes. New intros / artwork would need to be produced and so forth. So that's it. But that's sort of in the works. That's a sneak peek for the future, maybe. Probably not. It's probably a sneak peek for an unfulfilled promise. So for now, I'm Miasma from Gyre Media. And welcome back to a very special Sugoi Boyz podcast. This one is not going to be, the most positive, especially coming from my end, because I want to address an issue that I hear often in the anime community, and even from people that don't watch anime. Like, it's a perception that I think like some people have that I wish didn't exist, and it's a problem I wish that would get sort of expunged, but it's probably not easily done. But before we get to that, let's do our typical, what are you watching? What are you reading? Or whatever. I'll go first. This week I I'm still technically watching Showbits.
But you watched more Boku no Pico than anything.
I did. Well, yeah, I watched. That's the live loop. I have a tab open that's just constant Boku no Pico. And besides that, I had Showbits because Justin says I should watch it, and I have to review that someday. So I'm 16 episodes into Showbits, and it's still Showbits. It's still all right. And I'm like 14 episodes into a certain magical index, and I'm liking that a little more.
Watch that.
Index is pretty cool. It is very much in vein to something. I think I would have enjoyed it way more when I was like a teenager. And now, like, having seen more anime, like I feel like I don't like it as much as I would have in the past. But it's still really cool. You have a lot of similar to like Scryed. It's not like similar in plot to Scryed, but just in terms of inventive powers and stuff. You
really like those inventive powers.
I do. I'm a fan of powers. I've thought about doing a VS podcast. That's just like why I love powers. Because I love.
You're gonna call it why I love powers.
Why I love powers. Hey, Nia-chan.
Our sponsor today is Sprite.
Yeah. Oh no, it's not. It's Polar Diet Black Cherry.
Surge.
Polar from Worcester, Massachusetts, my home state, and actually the city that I went to school in. Nia-chan, hey, what's up? She's one of the most famous donators to the J Chip. What's it called? Patreon.
Yeah, most of the anime I watch and review is from Miasma and Nia-chan.
Well, it's because Nia recommends you like 5 million episode Natsume's Book of Friends.
Yeah.
Natsume's Book of Never Ending.
Thanks, Nia.
Yeah.
We were fine with Hotarubi no Mori-e, okay? At least that can be watched in 44 minutes.
Yeah.
Not according to that one guy in your comments section.
Oh, that's right. It's not. It's basically like a shitty episode of that show. Nia, I think you've seen both. Is Into the Forest of Fireflies Light just basically a shitty episode of Natsume? Is that how you feel? Because that's how a commenter felt about me.
Fuck that commenter.
No, I mean, he's a fan of Gyre Media. I would never say fucking no. Just
is he really a fan of Gyre Media?
I don't give a fuck. He's commented on my shit a couple times. But he's the one. He's always like really negative about it.
Maybe he's just being secret.
Maybe
he's a secret crush on you.
It's actually me in like it's an alternate personality that I just when I sleep I wake up and I'm that guy. That's why I'm tired all the time. So I sleepwalk, and I in my sleepwalking I write hate comments on my own videos. So yeah, I've been watching Chobits and Index, and I meant to read more Vinland Saga, but I haven't. I'm still on chapter 21, so not really for me. It's two different shows with the same vibe. Okay, so maybe I would like Natsume, but it seems really long, and I don't know if I'm going to do that.
They have
is enough.
They have the same art style if you're into the art style.
It was an alright art style. I like it. I mean, it's better than a lot of things. But
what is that a jab at?
Bad animation and
probably the anime we always make fun of, which is Handshakers.
Oh yeah, dude. What I left in the toilet this afternoon looked better than Handshaker.
You know, I had this theory. Like, if you
were going to debate that.
If you buy Handshakers on Blu-ray and you accidentally drop it in the toilet, it'll probably turn into a turd because that's its actual form.
You're right. You're right. You know, that's like an expensive ass Blu-ray too, if I remember correctly. I think it's like a.
The reason why it's expensive. The reason why it's expensive is because they're like, yeah, nobody's going to buy this, so we're just going to charge.
So why would they make it expensive?
So that nobody can buy it.
I mean,
nobody wants to buy it. So
hey, Shakugan no Shan is a cool show, and you can get that for $60 for the entire 3 seasons.
True.
Even cheaper, probably.
We can go and talk about how Katanagatari is how many dollars for how many episodes?
Oh yeah, 4 episodes for a Blu-ray for $299.
What is this, Madoka Magica?
No.
That's kind of almost the same, because back in the day I wanted to buy Madoka Magica, and if you want to do that, it's like 4 episode sets that are like $1 bajillion, because that's how it's sold in Japan.
I mean, it is NIS America.
Yeah, great. And also you can just watch Madoka Magica on Netflix for like $8 a month. And all the movies.
Yeah.
This is also coming from the guy that bought Durarara Season 1 as a Japanese import. And you could watch it all on Netflix. I just like Season 1 a lot, so I bought it. Okay, so Justin, you mentioned Katanagatari. So what have you been watching? / reading? What have you been doing with your eyeballs is my favorite name of the segment.
Okay, so I've been watching Kami Nomi Zo Shiru Seiki, which is
Don't be that guy. Don't be that guy. Just say it.
Which is the world God only knows.
Okay, thank you. Oh my god, you're gonna start the what I hate about the anime community very fast if you're gonna do that.
Okay, so I like the world God only knows. I think it's enjoyable. It's very, very flawed, but I'm still enjoying it.
So it's like Scryed.
Yeah. Just minus the anime powers.
Oh yeah, it's got to have powers.
He doesn't have the power of God and anime on his side, does he? He only has the power of anime on his side.
We should make T-shirts that says like miasma. The anime has to have powers. Every anime, slice of life. It can be a slice of life about girls in a knitting club. I want to see some girl who has she has the iron stitching, and she's like dragons are forming around her and shit.
And
that'd be great.
The other show I'm watching is Yu Yu Hakusho because the new OVA is coming out in a few months, so getting prepared for that.
Ooh, I'm still on episode 40-something.
Nice.
Perpetually.
And that's really watching. Oh, and I've been watching Kill la Kill with Art.
And you dropped Katana.
Yep.
After how many episodes?
1 and 10 minutes of the second.
Nice. A solid 30 minutes.
Yeah.
No.
Actually.
Solid hour.
A solid hour? Oh, that's right. They're long.
Yeah.
All right. So, Art, I know you've dropped Katanagatari. Have you been watching anything else?
So, watching Hunter x Hunter.
I feel like it's perpetually going to happen.
Yeah. Rewatching Kill la Kill. And our buddy Nan got me interested in. We've seen the first episode, but I might continue it on my own. Gundam Build Fighters.
Okay. I feel like this is going to be a perpetual thing where he's going to finish Hunter x Hunter before I finish Chobits. Like long before. Like it's going to be like a joke. Like, hey, a month ago he finished Hunter x Hunter. I finally finished Chobits.
Watch Art start One Piece, and he is already caught up, and you're still trying to finish Chobits.
Yeah, you watch all of.
Let me be with you.
It's hard, man. There's not enough time in the day. I gotta play Overwatch, and I gotta watch shit that I want to watch. And Chobits isn't bad. It's just like it's very much this extra thing. It's just like, oh, that's there. It's like when I watch the episodes of Chobits, I feel like I'm full at like a dinner table, and someone just brought me like a slice of like cheesecake, and I'm like, man, I'm really full. I don't know if I want this right now. I'm sure it'll be all right, and so sometimes I eat it, and it's not like I regret it. It was good, but it's just sometimes you don't want that cheesecake.
What a way to put it. What a way to put it.
If you learn nothing from these podcasts, is that I have great ways to put stuff, like looking at spoilers like a painting, a small portion of a painting. But good segue, because the other night, and I won't name names because he's not here to defend himself, and I don't even think it's really his argument. But in a Discord chat that myself and J-Chip from the J-Chip Show are both part of, the subject came up of, I don't know if it was specifically a fan servicey thing or like an incest thing or something of that nature, and then people like they were talking about how like weird a certain scene or something was on a show, and then someone in the chat said, "Oh, that's just an anime thing. It's gonna happen." And now the rest of the chat says that I freaked out, but I did not freak out. I simply stated in a different tone, I'm sure, that is a lazy. This I guess so. This is like my biggest problem. I think that is a lazy way to look at something, because that's essentially you're taking what you may perceive, and not everybody perceives the like everything as it being the problem. So I'm sure there's people that don't care about that kind of shit being an anime or whatever. And then whatever you like in anime is what you like. But if it's something that you perceive as an issue, if it's brought up as an issue, if you were part of the conversation of something being an issue, and then you just say, well, that's how it is. That is a defeatist mentality. That is saying, well, it happens. Well, I got shot by a gun. Well, should I go see a doctor and get this fixed? Now just sit here and bleed out. Because that's a bullet thing. That's what bullets do. They strike you and they make you bleed. So, like, my thing is, I feel like, and the thing that hurts me the most is because, like I've stated before, most of my, like, people I know in real life aren't into anime and manga. Like, a majority of the friends that I know within the community are from the internet. And, well, that's a great thing. Part of it is, and I've tried to fight this with people that I know in real life, there's the never-ending perception of anime and manga in this medium that it's weird, it's this niche thing, and it's a lot of people will emphasize things like fan service and things like incest, which are not prevalent in every show, as we all know, but people from the outside looking in perceive it a certain way. And I know I shouldn't care that much about how people, I guess, perceive us. I guess I shouldn't let it bother me that much, like as anime fans. But it hurts me because I want more people to like anime. I want more people to read manga. I want more people to be into this. I want them to sort of take the plunge. And I feel like, and then see if they enjoy it, and if they don't, then they don't. But I feel like the mentality of just saying, oh, that's an anime thing, and just accepting, then it's never going to change. And then, like, people that promote that kind of thing, which makes, I think certain people do feed off of it being a niche, weird thing. Probably like the fucking body pillow community or something. But yeah, those, I mean, I guess if you're into what you do.
That a thing, wow. The body pillow community.
I mean, I guarantee there's people making, I mean, I've also made a body pillow video, technically. But if there's like people, I'm sure there's people making videos of body pillows, like almost like body pillow reviews, talking about their favorite body pillows, and we all know what's going on with that with the lights going on. What's that?
There are hentai figure reviews.
Nice. Okay. Well, you know, and they probably have thousands of subscribers, so there's that.
Yeah.
But I don't know, and maybe I don't know how much sense I actually make, but it was just something. And then part of the chat seemed to agree with me, and then some people were telling me to take a chill pill. And I don't remember how Justin felt about it. He probably said, "Fuck you, miasma, shut the fuck up." But you know, that's like the first. I mean, there's other things in the community that bother me, but this isn't the miasma cast, and I know I talk too much as is. So like, Justin, what was like your kind of reaction to my ramblings, I guess? Like, or how do you feel about the subject?
I mean, I agree with everything that you just said.
Yay! All right, see you guys next week.
Like I agree with you that I do think more people should get into anime and read manga and like take an open mind to a different type of entertainment. I think that like the more the merrier, but also to that, like there's a lot of assholes in this community, and so the biggest thing that pisses me off the most about the anime community is the whole objectivity versus subjectivity argument.
Oh man,
like that drives me up a wall because like I don't care if Legend of the Galactic Heroes is the best anime ever made, and if I find inconsistencies for me personally, I'm going to point them out. But I really hate that when people are like, yeah, this is objectively the best anime, or this is objectively the best song, or the best movie, the best video game. It doesn't really matter. Like,
it doesn't work that way.
I just think people need to understand to take an opinion and just understand it as an opinion instead of a fact.
Very well put. I like that. Yeah. It's like how if I ever negatively talk about a show, which I don't think personally I do that. I think it's
Not
because
often.
I'm so new to anime reviewing that I'm pretty positive. When I talk about something negatively, I have, with the exception of like Super Kid, which I just know is just trash and it's like a meme at this point. Most of the shows I don't like, I will say it's not. The term I use is it's not my cup of tea. All right,
Yeah.
Kill a Kill. I'm sure it does stuff for some people. It's not for me. It has. I can't believe I'm about to say this. It has some cool animation. Some emphasis on some. Okay, but it is not generally how I would favor stuff to look. And Kino's Journey was not my cup of tea, but I know a lot of people that like it, and that's their thing. And so I try to never sit here and be like, well, this is trash. You shouldn't enjoy it for this reason. This show sucks. Let's make 30 videos about it. I'm not going to waste my time doing that.
Light commented on something I want to talk about. I agree with him that people should take criticism and take it as just that criticism and not like a personal attack. Because I was talking about Violet Evergarden, and then I got someone that was like, so you don't understand what love is, so that's why you gave it a 7 out of 10.
Clearly, Justin.
And like should I have to understand what love is to understand an anime about a girl that lost her boyfriend?
Yes.
Like, what is love?
You can't understand the show unless you're a girl that's lost her boyfriend.
Yeah, exactly.
You also have to be in the military.
I do.
That's great.
Thank you for coming late, even if it was a little bit. That's a good point. But yes, yeah, you have to be. You can't make a video about Violet Evergarden without meeting that criteria, Justin. You should have known that.
You can't enjoy Violet Evergarden without meeting that criteria.
To review Children of the Whales, I actually lived out in an ocean of sand for several weeks, and I ate nothing but. I don't remember what they ate in Children of the Whales. I don't remember them like eating food.
Yeah,
Evangelion
like-
probably
like-
have to die.
Yeah, for Evangelion, you got to do a lot of shit to fucking talk about that. Oh my
like,
god!
remember Miasma? Like just a couple of days ago, we were like hanging out with like Sugoi people, and we had altar powers. We actually had the altar power, Big Magnum.
Yes, that's why. That's the only reason we were able to talk about it.
Yeah,
Because we were part of the Great Uprising, or whatever the hell it was called.
yeah.
To make a video about Darling in the Franxx, you have to have been a Franxx pilot.
Exactly.
That sounds like an awful life.
I'm assuming being a pilot is not a fun thing for every individual involved.
No.
I still have not seen Darling in the Franxx, although I have some intrigue. But yes, so like, if someone is really into like fan service shows, I mean, that's your cup of tea or whatever. That's what you like. But when it's added into a show, my problem is when it's thrown into a show that's not necessarily like about that. Like, I'm watching Index currently. Like, it's a fucking cool show about like this world where people obtain superpowers essentially from one of two means. They're either from science.
Magnum.
Yes, Big Magnum. They're either from science, which is a majority of people have like enhancements to their like body and stuff, or there's the church, and in this world, the church uses magic. So like the church people, the nuns and the people from the church have like magical abilities that they refer to as magic, and then all the people in the city use like science. And they have this like consistent like clash with one another. And when they use like ability, a lot of them will actually have abilities that are somewhat similar to one another. Yet they argue about the nature of it. They're like, "Oh, well, this is magic," and then the people from the city are like, "What the hell's magic? You know, I use science for this." It has a lot of like cool inventive powers and stuff like that. And there's interesting backgrounds of a lot of the characters. But then all of a sudden, you'll get scenes with titty bouncing. And it's like teenage girl titty bouncing, and they're in their gym clothes, and I feel like we didn't need it, and it's in one of the OP. It has great OPs, by the way, by Mami Kawada. I love Mami Kawada. Shout out to the Jormungand OP.
Yeah.
But even in the OPs, there's some titty bouncing. Handshakers, a show we mentioned earlier, has an infamous scene where a girl is listening to an iPod. And for whatever reason, gravity is destroying them titties. It is just gone. Her listening to that music, shaking the world. And it's just, I feel like an old man when I complain about this kind of thing. Because I'm sure it's something that I could relax about. But and then people kind of sit back and say, well, that's going to happen. That's part of it. And then for me, I've tried to show a lot of people who aren't into anime. And I've had success stories and I've had failure stories. Because some people will see like fan servicey shit and then it's fucking weird. And, like Soul Eater. One of the early episodes of Soul Eater, I remember you have Death the Kid grabbing the Thompson twins' tits. And because they're not symmetrical. That's hilarious to me. But from like an outsider's perspective, that I don't know, that might weird some people out. And is it weird to judge something based on one scene? Yes, but people are going to do that. People are going to judge things as quickly as possible. That's my thing. I don't know. Art, how do you want to chime in?
Yeah, give me just.
Oh boy,
Stupid cat.
Oh, I'm sure your cat's great.
Yeah, she comes up to me, she screams, and then she runs away. I think my biggest issue with the community is, and it's kind of going in the direction Justin was going in, this cat leaving my door open. Okay.
It's the cat. It's the cat that's the biggest problem with the anime community, isn't it?
No. I think my biggest issue with the community, and like I said, it was going in the same direction Justin was going in, and kind of in the direction Light mentioned. everybody always has to be right. Nobody is ever wrong.
Yep, that's true.
Yeah.
So, say we go back to the whole Violet Evergarden thing with Justin. Apparently this guy is right because he interpreted Justin as saying... interpreted Justin giving it a 7 of 10 as not being understanding of what happened and not relating to it or whatever. And that makes him right. So if Justin were to argue with that, I would say 70% of the time the guy wouldn't back down.
Yeah. Well, you're never going to win that argument. You're never going to, like, you would never be able to, like, convince that guy that you are all right in his eyes, because you're not, unless you went back and made a video where you gave it a 10 out of 10 and then physically said, I was wrong. I didn't know what love really meant. It's the greatest anime ever.
I wonder how this person's going to react when I talk about Snow White.
Also, a 7 out of 10 is not that. That's a 7 out of 10 is not that bad a score.
Yeah, I mean, I still enjoy the anime for being a good show. It's just there were some things I didn't like about it.
You know what people don't get through their skulls is that most anime is like a 7 out of 10, if not lower. Not all of it is incredible. If it wasn't that way, then we wouldn't have great higher upper echelon anime. You have to have shit to realize what's good. And while not everything is shit, there's a whole bunch of stuff in this middle ground here. Okay? There's a whole lot of shows that are slightly above average. They were probably made with slightly than average budget, and are of a short length. They might not tell the entire story. So of course that show's not going to be a 10 out of 10. Yet every time
studios, first time animators, first time script writers.
Exactly. It could be a Studio Trigger show. It could be, a whole myriad of things that take points off of it. Okay? And not just because, and then, everything, there's always a show every season that comes up as the savior of anime. This is the savior. Anime doesn't fucking need saving. Okay? There's no, we don't need to put a Gretzko up on a cross. Okay? This is not what's happening here. There's nothing that, it's anime is more accessible now than it's ever been. And while the community can be toxic, there are a lot of avenues. Yes, that's true. Yeah, I'm an Overwatch player. I know that shit. It's hardcore. But if you want to meet people to talk about it, I'd say it's given Discord and even YouTube, and there's a whole lot of other ways. Maybe not Mal. Probably don't want to meet people on Mal. But there's
than our anime.
There you go. Our anime, that could deserve its own podcast, probably. But yeah, there's if I could find people to talk about anime with, a lot of people can, and it's in a lot of ways it's. Oh, see you, Nia. Sorry. It's bigger than it's ever been. So I disagree with the notion that it needs saving. Because I don't think it does. I think that the community could mature a little bit, but then I do realize that I'm talking about a medium that's primarily aimed at Japanese people in like their teens for a majority of the shows. Do I wish that we had more shows aimed at adults? Yes. In fact, there's 5 types of shows that I wish that we would see, which is a video on my channel. But that's I guess the pipe dream. But yeah, our anime is also
we don't. Then there's also the
Pits of Humanity. You're talking 4chan?
Yeah.
Oh, I never delved into there. I guess I'm smart enough not to do that. But even Discord can be toxic now too. I mean,
yeah.
There's chats that don't even cost any money. A free chat that can have all sorts of drama, as Justin and I have heard / he's experienced. I don't really take part of it because that's the dark side of the Lion King that I don't walk towards.
Yeah.
But
that'll be a different topic for another day.
You must never go over to the shadow side of the Pride Lands.
You can never go over there. But yes, I think that, and people want to hear what they want to hear, and then anything to the contrary just flames them. And they either have to have a hate comment on something. Like, I feel like it's very rare for people to just like watch something and then they don't like a certain point or whatever, and then they're like, whatever, I'm just gonna exit out of this guy's video. I'm gonna fucking close and I'm gonna go watch hentai. You know? I'm assuming that's the next thing they're gonna be doing. But no, you know, maybe they disagree. I wasn't that into Shinsekai Yori, and I'm sure some people probably were like pretty mad at me, and I'm sure there's, if I remember right, there's some comments on that one. Or maybe not everybody has to leave, just sprinkle in some negativity. If you're even like a small YouTuber and you get like maybe 2 or 3 comments per video, how about we don't have the one at the top saying, your opinion of the show was all right, but it was pretty shit. It's just like a boring episode of this other show. Thanks, man. Thanks for having that be, you know, the number one thing in there. And I could be a dick and I could delete it, but, you know, now that's there. Now that's the immediate contradiction to my opinion about the show. Bam! Right there. And I know it's a forum. That's fine. That's your opinion, but and to like sit and type a paragraph just being negative. I don't know. Anime should be fun. That's another video I did. This is just a marketing ploy for me. But yeah, I don't know. Justin, is there anything else that I'm venting too much here? Being in as many, you're in like several you're in more Discords, I would say, than me.
Yeah.
What would you personally like to see if someone said the anime world is, you're the new god of the anime world, J-Chip from the J-Chip show? Oh boy.
Oh, wow.
What are you going to change about it? How do you want it to appear?
If I could change anything, I would have people understand what an opinion is. Like beat it into their head. Like get a dictionary and have like read that definition out loud.
Of an opinion?
Yeah. Also, like, the other argument that I kind of got annoyed with back in the day was the sub versus dub debate.
Oh my god, I forgot about that. That should be talked about.
Because in my opinion, that really doesn't matter. Like back then I was kind of irked by it, but nowadays, like, there are some arguments where I will just like sit back and just relax and just watch 2 idiots argue because that's funny to me. Like, in this one Discord I was in, they were talking about anime that should be legal and anime that is illegal, and like how you should watch it. And so I'm just sitting back and I'm enjoying, and some person was just like, you know, there's really no excuse to illegally watch anime because it's everywhere. And then one guy was just like, yeah, but I can't watch Neon Genesis Evangelion, so explain that. And so, like, I just decided back and watch.
Whenever Ava does get a Blu-ray, it'll blow my mind. But
it will be.
I'll have to buy it probably.
Yeah. But what'll happen first? Will the series get a Blu-ray, or will the 4th movie come out?
4th movie, definitely.
Both at the same time. When you go to the theater, they give you a coupon for the Blu-ray.
Also, another thing that kind of fun to watch is the whole anime being a cartoon or anime being its own thing.
Well, Avatar is an anime.
It is. So is the Boondocks.
So is Ruby and the Boondocks. Technically, yes.
Ed and Eddie is anime.
Yep. Pretty good. It's an American anime. Koi in the House, no. But Proud Family, yeah. Kim Possible, sure.
I I mean, if Cory in the House was animated, it would be anime.
I have 2 reviews on my channel. I have a review of Ruby and a review of Avatar, and I don't give a fuck about people not thinking that they're anime, because that's what they are. They're American anime. There are plenty of Japanese people that are actually into Ruby. It is highly successful in Japan. I am willing to assume that if I ask somebody on the street, they would say, "Oh, well, yep, that's an anime." I mean, they're not going to probably say it in English, but they're going to say something to that effect.
You know what's an argument I never come across, and I'm sure it happens all the time, but when somebody calls manga a comic book, like I never see people get salty over that.
That's true. I mean, that's how whenever I've had to introduce the concept of manga to someone, I just say it's Japanese comic books.
I mean, that's really what it is.
You're like, this is a Japanese comic. You just flip it over and read it the other way.
Yeah. Read it backwards. Unless it's one of those weird ones that they flip for some reason.
Yeah.
Killer Sushi. Oh, he's talking about the Eva movies. No. So what was it? It was like, are we going to get the 4th movie or the series Blu-ray? He says neither. Hideaki Anno is just going to be like JK when the release date of the movie comes up.
I think you were telling me about the tsundere thing. I once witnessed an argument in a general thread in A where 2 people were arguing about whether or not a character from the series was a tsundere. Everyone was telling them to shut up after a while.
Well, that's an important thing. You got to know what type of dere.
So Miasma, I got a question to ask you. Okay. What is the funniest argument you've witnessed on the internet?
Funniest argument. Wow. I don't know. I don't really have one off the top of my head. I mean, there's a lot like playing the game Overwatch. There is so much 1 out of every 10 games you're gonna hear people argue about something about in this and then I don't really think about it until after the fact, because I've argued with people too, and then I think about it after it's a fucking game. We are playing. There's people in fucking Africa that are building a house out of mud right now, okay? And we're playing this game on expensive ass computers and arguing if the Mercy is healing us enough. And yelling that they're not clicking the person's head fast enough. And acting like we will run out of fucking oxygen if they don't actually click it. If we lose this game, then our head will explode. I guess so. A lot of situations like that, I looking back on it are ridiculous. In terms of anime, I mean, there's the stupid best girl arguments. Those can get annoying.
Ram.
I didn't watch ReZero, but I'm sure it's a fucking dumb argument. Hero Aka, there's a million best girl characters. But yeah, I don't know. Inuyasha, I suppose you could probably say it. We all know who best girl is. But
every season there's a new best girl argument. That's the whole thing.
Every season, there's a savior of anime, and then there's a best girl.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. Art, do you have a dumbest argument that you've seen?
Not off the top of my head. I'm sure there's one out there.
That's one of those questions that we're gonna think of it in 3 hours and be like,
I'm pretty sure one of us is just gonna DM one of each other's and be like, yeah, I remember this argument.
In regards to Inuyasha, Sango is best girl. Killer Sushi. I don't know you, sir or ma'am. But first of all, welcome to the podcast. And you are now, if I had, you're tier 1. If this was, Twitch, you're top. Sango is best girl. Forevermore. I kind of want to buy a Sango figure pretty soon, but it's expensive. Too expensive. And I'm a girl. Nice. All right. Thank you for clarifying how you identify. What were you going to say, Justin?
I guess the funniest arguments I come across is the ones that usually happen in a Discord server, in a specific one that it's free to go into. You can join at your own disclosure, and yeah. The entire argument was, how would we make Spider-Man into an anime, and how would we make X-Men into a Magical Girl manga?
Hold on, say that again. I'm sorry.
Like, how would we make Spider-Man into an anime, and how would we make the X-Men into a manga?
I'm pretty sure they've done both of those.
And then they were fighting over, like, what power should Wolverine have if he was a Magical Girl?
Wow. And like, when you say the term arguing,
yeah,
that implies that they're not just pitching ideas. That implies that one of them is saying something.
Yeah.
And that they're saying, no, man, you're wrong. You would have this.
So one of them was just like, since they're a magical girl, they obviously have to have a girly, like, power. And one of them, like, you could hear it in his voice. He got really offended and was just like, no, Wolverine needs to be manly as fuck. As a matter of fact, I assume that Art knows who this person is. Also, speaking of him, Darling in the Franxx discussions can be fun.
I mean, harkening back to last week, anytime people get upset at people for spoilers, like especially if I start to talk about something that happens in episode 1 of a show, and it's something that's known within the first 22 fucking minutes of a franchise, and then I say it, and then they act like I fucking ruined it. I blew the door off. I made it. It's not an interesting show anymore. La 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 la. Can't watch it. Nope. Can't. Even if it's 25 more episodes long, can't do it. Nope. Can't. Yeah. You know, you ruined it.
Even though it's probably in the opening and in the synopsis.
It takes place in a school? No. Fuck. You can't tell me that shit. No anime has ever taken place in a school. Ever. What? He's a zombie and he's about to have a harem? Except one of them's a vampire ninja? No, you can't tell me that shit. Shout out to Is This a Zombie? The world's weirdest depiction of zombies.
Yeah.
But, yes, it's just... that kind of argument is also dumb. Then again, I'm not a person that... I've never been an argumentative person in general. So, and I also tend to avoid large Discord servers. So luckily, I get to stay away from a lot of that. The closest that I see is if I read the review section of Mal.
Oh God, that's another cancerous section.
We talk about the review section of Mal for a second. Mal is a great thing that we all should really appreciate. It's an awesome statistical library of everything you've ever watched or dropped or finished or whatever or plan to read, and it's great. And it's good for someone like me that can never remember what episode they're on. So then I pull up my Mal, and it's like, oh, I was on Chobits episode 14. The last episode, they just went to the beach. Because that's what just happened. But there's like a dark side to that you can't strafe into when you go and you see people giving everything a 10 out of 10, or if it's a popular show, it's a 1 or a 0. Can you give a 0? It's a 1. You can't. So it's a 1 out of 10. Like, you scroll to Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood, a pretty widely praised show, and you scroll down, and there's some dude who made sure he was first. 1 out of 10. And it's like Dragon Slayer XX212, and his 5 favorite anime are all Gintama seasons.
Okay, you know what? I'm actually gonna do this. I'm on Brotherhood's page right now, and you got a 10, a 9, a 7, a 7, a 10, a 9, a 5, a 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. I'm gonna try to find that one. The lowest on the first page is a 5.
Shit, man. Fuck. I feel like the Wizard of Oz. People know I was wrong. It was a lie. There aren't any 1 out of 10s. Also, a 7 out of 10 for that show is basically a 1 out of 10.
And there's a 3.
There's a 3?
Okay, that's good enough.
That guy's just trying to be a hardo. He didn't want to give it a 1. A 3.
Okay, so I'll do the TLDR of this because this is detailed.
Of the FMA review?
Okay, so one of the criticisms is how much alchemy did Ed and Al actually use?
A lot.
Where are the complicated algorithms?
What?
It's
magic. It's just sciencey magic. That's not even how real alchemy worked in life. Actually, it didn't work in life. That's why it's not a thing. You can't just clap your hands and make a fireball, all right? It doesn't work.
I can't read that review. That one's actually just terribly structured. It goes between synopsis and like summary and criticism.
My favorite is seeing a 9 out of 10 review. That is like, maybe they were really high on the show. Like it was, as I put it was super their cup of tea. Me and Jormungand. I like Jormungand more than a lot of people. I get that. But then you'll see like underneath that, somebody that's like 2 out of 10 is like, clearly if you enjoy these parts of the show, then you don't understand the actual context of what they're trying to say. It's really not that deep. In fact, if you're into this, you should actually just stop watching anime entirely.
Okay, this is a nice short paragraph on a 3 of 10 review for FMA Brotherhood. This is a very easy review. This show does not hold up in any way, shape, or form. It literally requires you to have read the manga or seen the previous anime. The original series diverged from the manga and became something truly special because of it. Brotherhood, while being very true to the manga, moves at such absurd speeds as to literally ruin it. It leaves absolutely no room for characters to establish themselves or breathe. The show assumes you're either a fan of the previous anime or the manga and does nothing to pander endlessly to people who claim best ever because they see their favorite character in their favorite scene. It's a real shame because there was a lot of potential here ruined by Bones pandering towards the established fans. The series slows down to an acceptable pace at around the 20th episode, but then the damage is already done. Other than that, the art and animation are fantastic. The voice acting is superb, and the soundtrack works really well with it.
Okay. I'm a slight fan of the Full Metal Alchemist franchise.
There's one thing that I want to point out is that like, just because someone gives a negative review to something you like, you shouldn't take that seriously.
No, none of us know what we're talking about.
Yeah, exactly. Oh yeah, that's right. We got to join the military to understand an anime.
Yeah, I can't say that Now and Then Here or There is a good show because it depicts a child military, and I've never been in the military, so
or maybe we were wrong for dropping Katanagatari because we were born in the Edo period.
We need to be Japanese people looking for the ancient Japanese swords to understand Katanagatari.
Yeah.
Yes. And you have to.
And speaking of that, what's interesting about Katanagatari, I was looking at the reviews of that, and everybody seems to love it.
Everybody seems to love it? I feel like everybody just loves anything that's Gatari. Am I wrong in that? Don't people just love all Gataris?
You might not be wrong.
If it ends in Gatari, I'm pretty sure people
you got
like it.
Ore Monogatari, you got anime Gataris.
And then you got people who are like,
Nakamonogatari, Isamonogatari, Bakumonogatari.
Okay, what you're saying right now is a totally different series.
Right. Those are like, okay. So where Bakumonogatari would be the first. Like, I don't even know. You know what you should do? You should do Gatari for Dummies video.
Yeah, you should. That would be great.
And it'll become your most popular video, and then you'll have to take it down in 6 months. Because I don't know where to go. All I know about there's only 2 things I know, maybe 3, about any Gataris, okay? Is that the titles are word plays.
Yes.
That they're directed, I don't know if all of them, but Akiyuki Shinbo,
Yes, all of them.
Studio Shaft, and the
Yes.
toothbrush scene, as Killer Sushi mentioned. The tooth, which I believe is in Bakemonogatari. Which
It's in Nisei.
That's in Nisei? Okay. See, there's that. That's all I know. That's all. Oh, and there's a vampire girl that everybody thinks is like really. I think she's a vampire.
Yeah,
The purple hair girl that everybody thinks is really hot.
she's blonde.
Okay. There we go.
The purple haired girl's a crab.
She's a crab?
Yeah.
Like, as in, like, Kingler? You're telling me that fucking Sengoku Hara, I think her name is, right? Is a fucking Kingler? Oh, I thought he had fallen over from
Doesn't she look like a Kingler to you?
Yes! She looks like she sits there and does this and goes, Koki, Koki. Yes, that's exactly how she... Someone needs to record like that clip of just me going, Koki, Koki. And him, it's going to look really weird because he's just holding up a figure of a girl, right? I talk about perceptions in the anime community. If anybody ever clicked on this video by accident and scrolled to this time, there would be him holding up a figure of a girl and me going, Koki, Koki. Oh my god. Because apparently she's a crab. We're going to kill Justin.
I'm just hoping someone who comes into this like and goes to that point where like Koki and be like, yeah, this is where the anime community is going.
This is exactly how they are. Yep.
You didn't have enough bubbles in your mouth for that one, though.
You're right. I need to.
You need to fix your Kingler cry.
Yeah. Sorry.
You said
I got a question.
Cookie Monster.
So Miasma, did you explain this to your dad on what anime is? Were you just like Koki?
No, that's a good question. Is like whenever there is something that's okay, so like Soul Eater, like I brought up, like that scene at the beginning of Soul Eater. It's not even something that they do a ton in that show, but I distinctly remember that scene for that reason. Is I think that's one of the first shows I think I showed him, and I think that was really the first like fan servicey, like gropey moment, and I had to explain that like that happens for some reason, and it's just like a thing. And then he on his own went to watch Seven Deadly Sins, which has a whole bunch of groping.
Yeah.
And I guess it didn't like push him off as much, I think, but I also buried him in like good shit. Like I buried him, like he loves like Death Note. Death Note is, I think, the second one he ever saw and is still his favorite. To the extent that he like, we went out and we bought like the Japanese movies, and he did watch the Netflix movie. Yep. But yeah. So he knows that it exists, but I had to kind of explain it. But he does question. He's like, well, why? It's like, why did this would be a cool show, but why do they got to do that? And I'm like, people will say it's just an anime thing, but and I'm like, well, for some reason, people seem to promote that and enjoy that. I don't know why. I don't know why.
I mean,
what?
The simple thing you should probably say is that, just sex sells, I guess. Like it really does.
That's true. That is true, I suppose. I mean, you could, yeah. I mean, look at like you could look at like Super Bowl ads, and you'd see mostly naked women. In fact, not even Super Bowl ads, any ads.
Look at the freaking Carl's Jr. Hardee's commercials where they got the hot girl like rubbing a burger all over her body.
That's
true. Is that really a thing?
Yeah. You never seen? There's a burger place called Carl's Jr. or Hardee's, depending on where you are in the country. And they have their ads are always girls.
We just got them over here.
Oh wow, we don't have them, but their ads are always like either celebrity women or like models, like really hot women, and they're usually like eating a burger and like dripping like ketchup on themselves or whatever.
Yeah. Or if it's that like hot dog burger and they're just like deep throating the hot dog,
I was just picturing in my head. Like, what if someone just came in at that moment?
Yeah.
Justin going, and they're just deep throating the hot. I'm pretty sure. Did you do a hand motion? It was like, and they're just deep throating the hot dog. And
they're just deep throating a hot dog.
Cookie.
Okay, so I actually have a question for both of you since we're being so negative. What is your favorite thing about the anime community?
Art can go first. Pressure's on.
Do I have a favorite thing about the anime community?
The fact that it exists.
It could be worse. I'm glad it's not worse.
I'm glad that I don't have to pay exorbitant amount of money to purchase every series because there are enough people here that want the shit. So there's enough people that make it a profitable venture for companies like Funimation and Viz and all of them to actually get like DVDs and shit here. So I'm glad that they exist because I can purchase my hobby. Not saying that everybody has to do that. I get it if you're strapped for cash or whatever. Just watch everything on Kiss Anime. I don't give a fuck. But I like to collect. So I'm glad that I could do that. So I guess I have the community to thank for that as a whole because they make that possible. And there are people that create content that talk about the same kind of stuff that I want to talk about. So basically because they exist. That's what I like.
Yeah.
I totally hijacked a lot of Art's response.
Yeah.
That's completely fine.
What do you like, Justin?
Well, even though you have to dig to find them, there are really cool people in the anime community.
Not many.
Not many, but you got to dig for them.
We're like the only three.
Yeah.
This is it. This is it, ladies and gentlemen. This is the end of the line. This is the only cool people that do it. Oh, Heather Rogers says your patrons. That's what you like.
Exactly.
That's what you're supposed to say.
I mean, I could say that, but, you know, you got to wear a smile to pretend to the crowd.
Oh, so you're admitting you're pretending?
Maybe.
Yeah, he hates every show people actually see Justin.
Yeah, I actually don't have patrons. I actually don't like anime. You know, I mean, it's just all for show.
It's all fake.
Yeah, it's all fake, like that wrestling shit.
Like that wrestling.
You know, I don't like video games. You know, I hate that weeaboo shit.
You need to make a parody video like that.
I should. I should review Black Clover and make it a parody like that.
Do it. Do it.
I'll do it.
Justin, that's the part you're supposed to show your Patreon. Well, I guess it sort of is because they're actually coming to the end here. But I will say, please check out these two guys' YouTube channels. They're really cool. Art of Anime and the J Chip Show. And if you find it in your heart, in your wallet, please donate to their Patreon so they can keep doing what they do as passionately as they do. Because they're entertaining. You know what? They're what I like about the anime community. There you go. Isn't that adorable? Look at that. Thank you, chat, for coming and listening to us talk about what pisses us off in the community and go koki and hold up figures and talk about deep throating. That all happened tonight, and you can't make it unhappen. Yeah. Give these guys a sub. Thanks, Art and Justin, for coming. And we will...
next week is...
NSFW.
Next week is going to be our 10th episode.
Wow. Shad, we'll have to celebrate.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you guys for coming. Chat, thanks for sticking around. And we'll see you guys next week when we talk about To Be Determined.
We'll talk about Koki.
Hopefully we won't talk about deep throating Koki. All right, see you guys next time.